going to show you now is a typical driving lesson around Deanshanger. So we're going to do a load of junctions. We're going to go past the co-op in different directions. As you can see from the view in front of us, it's a typical Deanshanger view. Narrow road, lots of parked cars. So having to deal with clearance past parked cars, looking for the gaps on the left hand side where you're going to get into, and lots of planning and anticipation. Drive on when you're ready. So the key thing as you're going up here is just plan what you got to do, anticipate what could happen. So there's a big gap on our left hand side here. As you can see, there's a car coming, so just check your mirror, off your gas. Sometimes there's no need to stop. What you can do is just carry on going. If there is a car, you come to a stop, think about the distance between you and the parked car, think about which mirrors you're going to check. If you do come to a stop, always worth giving a signal before you get going. So now we've got a white van on the right hand side, but we can't see past him. It is our priority, but don't trust other people coming in the other direction. If you feel there's a bit too much going on, just come off your gas a little bit, just slow it down. It's all about just giving yourself time to read the road, plan ahead, anticipate what could go wrong. So we've got a parked car coming up, so it's a centre mirror, right door mirror as we overtake the parked car. Then look as far up the road as you can. There's a white van on the right hand side, and then we've got a bend. And then just checking that door mirror. Like I said, if there's anything a little bit too awkward in front of you, just come off your gas, give yourself a little bit of time to work out what you need to do. So we're going to follow this road to the end, and at the end of the road, turn left. So it's centre mirror, left door mirror, left signal. And as you approach this junction, you can see it's a closed junction, so you're just slowing it down so that you can have a look to the left where we're going and a look to the right. And then you can see we've got some parked cars. So the tip along here is come out nice and early so you can see these parked cars and see past them. So majority of the junctions around here are really tight. We're going to take the second road on the left. So this is the first, this one coming up is the second. And remember routine MSPSL. Remember the rules, you must look up the junction before turning in, because there's a parked car here and there's a car coming the other direction. Always give yourself a little bit of time to have a look, to work out what you need to do. We're going to take the next road on the left. So mirror, signal, can't really adjust your position down here. Have a good look at where you're going. And we're going to follow this road all the way up to the end, and at the end of the road turn right. So this is definitely going to have to be a stop. So we mirror, signal, as you're gently braking, you can't see anything to the right, you can't see anything to the left, and we've got a white van in front of us. We're just going to come to a stop. When we come to a stop, we have a good look in both directions, especially to the right, because as we turn to the right here, we've got a great big lorry and we can't see past the lorry. So we're going to follow this road all the way round, and we're going to do a loop around here. So plan ahead. We're going to slow right down here, just keeping it in second gear, and utilise the reflections in the side of the vehicles, in the houses. You can see that in the windows of the houses, you can see any cars coming around the corner. As you can see, the roads are very tight, so just a case of just taking your time. So plan ahead. Just having a look up the road. We've got parked car on the left, parked car on the right. So less space, less speed. As you see, we've got a bend coming up. We can't see around the bend. As far as we're concerned, there's always going to be a car parked. So just checking your mirror, just off your gas, anticipating there's going to be a car here. If there is, then you can deal with it. If there isn't, all well and good. So at the end of the road, we're going to go left. So as you're slowing down, have a good look to your left so you get your position sorted out. Have a good look to your right. And when you're looking to your left, you can see there's a parked vehicle. We're going to take the next road on the right. So have a look up the new road. You must not turn in until you know it's safe. So we've got crossroads coming up. To turn right at the crossroads. So as you're approaching this junction, work out, is it open, is it closed? And remember, when you're turning right, you must give way in both directions. So when it's nice and clear, you can carry on going. But when you look to the right, you can see you've got a car parked So you anticipate that somebody's going to come the other direction, one of the doors is going to open. So at the end of the road, turn right. So as you're approaching this road, this junction, as you look to the right and left, the road opens up and you can carry on going. When you're looking to the right, not only are you looking to see if there's any cars coming, you're also planning your route. You can see there's some parked cars. Always look under the car, around the car, through the car. So with these cars coming up, you can see underneath it, you can see people crossing the road. We're going to take the next road on the right, down Glebe Road. So that's mirror, signal, off your gas, gently braking. At the moment, we can't see anything to the left-hand side. So we're going to slow it right down. We have a good look to the left. You must look up the new junction and then turning in. And when you're looking down the new junction, you're just looking to see if there's any pedestrians crossing the road, any parked cars. What we're going to do now, we're going to drive all the way around the village. Now when you're driving around one side, you usually get quite a lot of parked cars. When you drive around the other side, you use the parked cars on the other side of the road. So as we're going down here, Glebe Road, you see lots of cars on the right hand side. We've got a white van following us. So the key thing is checking your mirror, just off your gas as soon as you can see that there's a bend and you can't see around the bend. Just look as far down the road as you can. That way it gives you plenty of time to work out what you've got to do and what could happen. So we've got a bend coming up, so we're checking our mirror, off our gas. We're anticipating there's going to be a parked vehicle, and there's a white van. So by slowing down, we were prepared for that van, and then we can have a little bit of a think about what we need to do. At the moment, we're not bothered about how fast we go around Deanshanger. It's about how safe we do it. It's planning ahead, thinking about what we're doing. So we're going to keep following the road. You can see you've got a parked van on the left hand side, so centre mirror, right door mirror as we go past. Then if you look down the road, we've got a sharp bend to the right hand side, so we are expecting a delivery van to come flying around the corner. So the key thing is you still that planning, anticipating. If you slow down enough and have a look to the right early enough, you can see all the way down Hayes Road. So we've got some speed ramps coming up. Be careful of the potholes that are on the left hand side. Look as far down the road as you can. So at the moment, it doesn't look like there's any parked cars. We've got a vehicle in front of us. Now if the vehicle in front of us starts to brake, then that's a little bit of a clue that there could be something in front of us. So the vehicle in front did slowly start to brake. So that gives us a clue that maybe there's a parked car. As you can see, there is. So always look round the car, so look round the left hand side of the parked car and you'll be able to see where there's anybody coming. As you're approaching the speed ramp, check your mirror, just off your gas. Don't forget the speed ramp's there to slow you down. And as you're going down, hit this part of Hayes Road just because of the potholes in the middle of the road. The thing is, you want to try and avoid the potholes. It doesn't do the car any good and doesn't make the journey comfortable if you're hitting the potholes. So we're going to follow this road all the way down to the end, and at the end of the road turn right. I'd always recommend doing this a little bit earlier. So do your mirror, signal before the bend. That way you can slow yourself down, get it into second gear, have a good look to your right, have a good look to your left. The earlier you look, the less the car has to slow down. And we're going to take the next road on the right, going past the co-op. So mirror, signal, off your gas. Always be cautious of cars coming around from where the beehive is. And always have a good look to your right. So we've got the co-op coming up, and we've got a car that's stopped on the left-hand side, a car that's exiting out the car park. If you're not sure what people are doing, just come off your gas. Just stay away from them, let them get on with what they're doing, and then carry on. So we've probably got probably the most awkward bit coming up, where the road narrows. You've got speed ramps, usually parked cars. But the key thing is, just plan ahead, keeping an eye on what's in front of you. So we've got some parked cars on the right hand side. We are anticipating that somebody's going to come around the corner. So we've got a pedestrian in the road. This bit here, you see the warning triangle will tell you that the road's going to narrow. So just check your mirror, come off your gas. There's a parked car, so checking your door mirror, come out nice and early. Look past the parked car. If there's somebody coming, you can see them and you've got plenty of room to get back over. If there wasn't anybody coming, we could have carried on going. So think about your door mirror before moving out, and always worth giving a signal. And be cautious of this speed ramp, it's quite steep. And then just looking up the road, you can see that there's cars coming. You can also see the sign just warning us that it's priority to oncoming traffic. So before we get going, check in your mirror, give a signal just to tell everybody exactly what you're doing. Just keep looking at the top of the road. Now your vision is obscured by the parked van. So as you come into a stop, sometimes you've got no choice but to just check your mirror, just slowly come out so you can get your head round and have a look. And then you're just looking at the cars on the left hand side, see if there's any gaps that you could get in if there was a car coming in the other direction. And utilise the windows on the house on the left hand side. If somebody was coming down the road, you'd see them in the windows. Then plan ahead, look as far up the road as you can, right past the chemist. You can see there's cars parked on the left hand side, there's a car on the right hand side. As we get nearer, there's a van on the left hand side. So the longer you have to look at all these problems, the longer you have to think about it. So as we're approaching the parked van, we're going to check our centre mirror, right door mirror, and give a car door width. We've got a car that's parked on the left hand side, and we've got a car coming the other direction. Anything like this, anything a little bit too awkward, if you're not sure what people are going to do, just check your mirror, just come off your gas, let them get on with what they're doing. Yeah, it looks like they're parking, so check your mirror, carry on going. So same again, just planning ahead. Be cautious of this bit here, because there should be a sign here telling you that you have priority over oncoming traffic, but there's no sign. And we're going to go up past the post office, up the hill. So same again, just being cautious. You usually get cars parked on the side of the road just before the bend, so you are expecting that somebody's going to come around the corner. As you can see here, we've got a bloke walking in the road, we've got a car parking in the bus stop. The key thing with things like that, just take your time, don't trust what people are doing. So we've got the hill coming up with a bend, so imagine you want to push bike, just giving it a bit of gas to get yourself up the hill. And we're going to take the second road on the right. So this is the first, and we're going to take the second road on the right. So make sure that you stay close to the dash lines. We're turning into high view. Make sure you have a look up the junction before turning in. As you can see, you've got a parked car that's indicating to move off. He's just flashed us to go. Always worth having a look at the junction. Don't trust what people are going to do. And we're going to take the next road on the right, which is just coming up just before this lorry. So remember the rules, you must look up the junction before turning in. If you can't see anything, then you've got no choice but to slow it down, position yourself on the left hand side and have a good look. So we're going to follow the road up to the crossroads. At the crossroads, turn right. So slowing it down, it's a closed junction, we can't see anything to the left, can't see anything to the right. There's a car in the distance and there's a car parked on the left hand side. So as approaching this car, think about which mirrors you need to check to move over to the right. At the end of the road, turn left. So mirror signal, as you're slowing down, good look in both directions. Ideally always look left first where the curb is, where you're going, and then have a look to the right hand side. So we're now going down past the post office and going around the village in the other direction. So the key thing is you're coming down here, just be cautious of what's parked on the left hand side near the post office. If you're not sure what people are going to do, just slow it down, especially if a car's just come to a stop. You're always expecting them to just open their door. So always be cautious here, so checking your mirror off your gas, gently braking. It's priority to oncoming traffic and you've got cars parked on the right hand side, so just give yourself a little bit of time just to have a look. So if you look in the furthest distance, there's a van parked on the right hand side, there's a red car on the right hand side, and there's a black car on the left. So you're just working out if there was a car coming, who'd have priority, what mirrors you need to check to overtake this parked car. The clearance going past the parked car. And don't forget, always give that car door width just in case somebody opens their door. We've got some speed ramps coming up, so as you're approaching them, just checking your mirror. And just imagine the passenger next to you has got a tray of drinks on his lap. You don't want him to spill the drink, so when you're going over the speed ramps or any bumps in the road, just make the journey nice and smooth. So we're heading back towards the co-op. So we've got a bend coming up. Now usually there's always parked cars around here, so as far as you're concerned, there's going to be parked cars on the right and the bus is going to be coming in the other direction. So check your mirror, off your gas, always anticipate that somebody's going to be coming around the corner. As we get round here, you were prepared for anybody to come in. If there isn't, then you can carry on going. If there was, at least you were ready for them. And the key thing is not just a case of just looking up ahead, it's also just keeping an eye on the vehicles behind. Majority of the vehicles around here will stay around away from you, but more often than not, if you're heading towards a problem, the faster you go, the faster the car behind you will go. So if you look in the distance, we've got a parked car on the left hand side just before a bend. You are expecting the bus to come in the other direction, so just checking your mirror, just slowing it down in anticipation. More often than not, if you do everything correctly, nothing comes around the corner. It's when you approach it a bit too quick and you're not checking your mirrors that somebody will come around the corner. So just looking at the side of this course on the right hand side, you can see the reflection in its doors and windows if somebody was going to come around the corner. We're now heading towards the co-op. So always be cautious here, people just swinging in and swinging out of the co-op. So we're going to follow this road up to the end. At the end of the road, turn left. So we can't give our signal early because there's a kebab van. So we're going to look over to the right, make sure it's nice and safe, and give our signal late. And we're going to take the first road on the left, heading up Hayes Road. So mirror signal, off that gas. The car will just plod along now. It'll give you a little bit of time to look where the curb is and then look up the road. That way you can plan your route, making sure you're keeping an eye on the vehicles behind you. So as we're going up Hayes Road, remember the potholes. And also remember, more often than not, there's usually lots of cars parked here. So in the back of your mind, you are preparing that there's going to be cars. And also utilise the vehicle in front. If you see the car in front braking or moving out to the right, you can see that there's a parked car here. So it's centre mirror, right door mirror. But now in the distance, you can see there's a car parked on the right. So it is our priority, but don't presume that people coming in the other direction will stop for us. So you can see in the distance we've got a speed ramp coming up, and then we've got a couple of potholes around the speed ramp. So just checking your mirror, and like I said, the quicker you go, the quicker the vehicle behind you will go, putting more pressure on you. So the key thing is, as you're approaching a problem, slow the vehicle down behind you. Just use that foot brake and your brake lights to slow them down. So we've got a bend coming up, so the road just flows round to the left. You don't need to give a signal, but you are expecting a bus to come around the corner. So as you're approaching, you check your mirror, just off your gas, try and stay close to the dash lines, and that will help you with your positioning as you're going round. As you come around here, just looking for any parked cars, giving yourself time to check your mirrors. And we're going to choose somewhere safe and convenient to stop on the left hand side of the road.